you know, our marketing and recruiting are kind of things that are tightly coupled. We're kind of marketing the company and trying to share, hey, this is a new project we just worked on, and isn't it cool? Not only does that help us from a business development standpoint, it also helps us from a talent pipeline perspective. So we get a lot of leads for talent through our website. People read about what we're doing and a project we might have just finished, or an event we might have just sponsored, or things that we're doing, and they come to us that way. We've done a little bit online through social media, specifically LinkedIn, as far as recruiting is concerned, with some success. But really, the mission really is just to let the community at large know what we're up to, and that has benefits from both a talent perspective and a new business perspective.
I think that we've spent enough time developing our culture and really fostering that environment that they seem to find us. Well, again, internally, most of them come from inside of our community. When we're looking outside the community for recruiting, we find a lot of those people mostly from word of mouth, and we get a lot of folks that really are just attracted to the brand because of what it represents.
So we find talent. It's kind of a really good time to be in the technology business because there's lots of great talent, and they don't have to be necessarily in your city to be really valuable to the organization. We've got remote workers that are very much a part of our team, and we get an opportunity to find great talent by looking at open source projects maybe that they've worked on, or community projects that they've done online. And so it's really kind of nice. You don't really need resumes so much anymore. You can go look at what people are doing, and at least for technology projects and technology people, which is most of what we're looking for, you can look at what they're doing online and get a really good sense of what their commitment level is, and talent level is from those projects.
So, whenever I want to learn more about a company, the best place I like to look is Glassdoor. It's a great place for you to get curated information of people who previously worked there and currently work there, and also read their reviews in the comments, whether it's pros and cons, good or bad or ugly. Another great place to look at, I like to see, just based on the core values on how they treat their clients and customers, is simply through social media. Look at their portals such as Twitter or Facebook, and just type their name into their search query and see how many questions are coming through, and how fast they respond to them, and also how they respond to them in general. That tone and the speed is also going to dictate how internally they treat employees, and also how fast they get back to them too.
I usually start online. I start looking at blogs. I start looking at people talking about the companies. I know there's some websites out there that rate certain companies for how their employees are happy and how their employees are treated and stuff like that. But I haven't really even gotten that far yet. Usually the jobs I've gotten so far have just been kind of fell in my lap. So I haven't even had to deal with that too much yet.
The internet. I use a lot of social media and just the company's webpage. So I'll go to their careers section or their About Us and look at what it's like to really work in that company before I dive into it. And then social media is kind of good. If a company has a page, a lot of times they'll share this is an event we went to, or something that we did, or this is a spotlight on an employee that works here. And it's just kind of nice to feel like the people before you sign on to working there for a year or more.
When I want to know more about a company, I will typically actually just Google them and go to their homepage. I also do, if it's a startup or a company I've been hearing about, I'll search Google News as well. So learn a little bit more about why people are talking about this. But actually, typically start off with Google. Just go to their website, learn a little bit more about them. If they've got a blog, look around a bit there. But yeah, see what's going on with them in the news. Just kind of those standard resources.
I usually check companies' websites for photos and videos of employees to figure out if that's a place I would fit in.
When I want to learn more about a company that I want to work for, I go to main places. I go to the company's main site to see what information that I can find on the company. And also, I look at personal blogs from people who work at the company, because I feel like the personal blogs, especially gives you more insight because it's from someone's perspective, and then it's more honest opinion than you would probably get from just general information online. So it's always good to peek in the company, especially from an employee's perspective.
Again, it sounds like I keep going back to saying the same thing, but our top performers are the people who most align with those, that mission of creating, these amazing user experiences and having passion for that. We create an environment that fosters that, where from the leadership down, we're not, the first and foremost thing is that kind of end user experience and doing what's right. And I think our top performers feel like that's the right kind of environment for them, and that is our environment, and we're not swaying from that. I think a top performer in our organization, if they were working for a company that had a different culture, where it was more about, doing things that are, sometimes easier, maybe more profitable, but ultimately not the right thing for the client or the end user, they would leave. Because they feel like the values of that company don't align with the values of what it is they want to do in their life. They don't want to just show up for work just for work. They want to do something. They want to say, I did that, and put their stamp on society and some kind of meaningful way. And you can do that through business and make money along the way. And that's I think, our top performers and our people kind of across the board, see this environment as a place to do that.
So obviously, being a smaller company, we can't afford to keep pace with the wages that somebody like Google or Facebook is going to pay these folks. So we're really keyed in to keeping the culture alive and keeping the I guess, kind of feeding the passion of our employees and rewarding them by letting them see the outcomes of what they're doing. So obviously, we can't pay people in passion, but it's a big part of what we do, and it keeps them really coming back for more.
A lot of it is flexibility and recognizing that they really need to make work and their life work together. So that can mean everything from doing things that are energizing and exciting to them, to having the time flexibility to work when they're most productive, and to also have time to do the things that are important to them outside of work.
Our ideal employee is an employee who has passion for the end user experience. It's someone who likes to invent, likes to innovate, likes to make people smile by creating a great user experience. That's really what we're looking for first and foremost, and then the technical proficiencies and experience kind of come into play almost secondary to that, because without that passion, it really, we found over the years, it doesn't work.
Our ideal employee is someone who's passionate about what they do, is sound in their technical knowledge for technical roles or the actual business unit that they'll be operating in. But the key factor there for us is really passion and the ability to learn more and to really take their skills to the next level.
From my perspective, an ideal employee is, for Dabble Lab, is somebody who's really curious. It's somebody who is very entrepreneurial themselves. They like to dabble. They like to try different things, especially in the technology space. And so they're not afraid to jump in and get roll up their sleeves and get their hands dirty on some new technology or some new evolving hardware, software, whatever it is.